Have you ever had a night where sleep refused to come? Where no matter how tired you were, your mind wouldn't let you rest? This is the story of a woman who faced that night every single day, until she discovered a truth that changed everything. Stay with me, and let's uncover her story together. In the heart of a quiet village near the great grasslands, there lived a woman named Adoma. She was known for her strength, wisdom, and kindness. Whenever someone needed help, whether it was a sick child, a struggling farmer, or a grieving mother, Adoma was the first to arrive, her hands steady, her voice soothing. But Adoma had one great struggle. She could not sleep. No matter how tired she became, no matter how many hours she toiled under the sun, sleep would not come. Each night, she lay on her woven mat, staring at the thatched roof of her hut, her mind filled with thoughts that refused to quiet. When her hut became too small to contain her restlessness, she would step outside and walk through the village, listening to the soft breathing of sleeping children, the rustling of leaves in the night wind, and the distant hoots of owls. At first, the villagers admired her for it. "She will keep watch over us while we rest," they said. "Perhaps the gods have given her the strength to never need sleep." But over time, Adoma grew weaker. Her steps became slower, her usually bright eyes sunken and shadowed. She began to forget things, simple things, like where she had placed her basket or what she had been saying in the middle of a sentence. Her hands trembled when she wove, when she carried water, even when she lifted a spoon to her lips. Desperate for answers, Adoma made the long journey to the city, where healers and doctors promised to cure any ailment. She sat in their dimly lit offices, where men in long robes stroked their beards and studied her with furrowed brows. "You must drink this bitter root tea," one doctor told her, handing her a vial of thick, brown liquid. "You must eat only goat's milk and honey for 7 days," another advised. "You must sleep with a stone under your pillow to ground your spirit," yet another healer suggested. Adoma tried them all. She drank the potions, followed the diets, lay with stones under her pillow and herbs tucked beneath her tongue. But nothing worked. The city healers grew puzzled, shaking their heads and murmuring amongst themselves. Some even told her it was beyond their understanding. "The problem is not your body," one finally said. "It is your spirit." With no cure and her silver coins spent, Adoma returned to the village, exhausted and hopeless. It was on one such evening, as she sat by the river, that Nana Efua, the village elder, found her. The old woman, wrapped in a thick cloth despite the warmth of the night, studied Adoma carefully before sitting beside her. "Adoma, my child, why do you fight sleep?" the elder asked gently. Adoma shook her head, too tired to smile. "I do not fight it, Nana. Sleep refuses to come." Nana Efua was silent for a moment before she spoke again. "Then perhaps it is not sleep that refuses to come, but your mind that refuses to rest." Adoma frowned. "What do you mean?" "You carry too much, Adoma," Nana Efua said. "You take care of the sick, help with the harvest, listen to everyone's troubles. But who listens to yours?" Adoma opened her mouth, but no words came. She had always prided herself on being strong, on never complaining. She had always been the one others leaned on. But now, as she sat under the weight of Nana Efua's words, she felt the truth settle deep within her. The elder patted her hand. "Come with me." She led Adoma to her hut, a small but warm place filled with the scent of dried herbs hanging from the ceiling. She reached for a clay bowl and poured a fragrant, steaming liquid into it. The scent of honey and earth filled the air. "Drink this every night before bed," Nana Efua said, placing the bowl in Adoma's hands. "And before you sleep, speak your troubles aloud. Let them leave your mind. If you do not release them, they will crowd your thoughts forever." Adoma hesitated but obeyed. That night, she sat in the quiet of her hut and spoke her burdens into the air. She spoke of the sick child she had nursed back to health, of the mother who had lost her husband, of the failing crops that worried the farmers. She spoke of her fears, her worries, her exhaustion. As she spoke, she felt something shift within her, as if invisible ropes had been loosened. The first night, she slept for just an hour. The second night, 2 hours. By the end of the week, she was sleeping until dawn. Soon, the villagers noticed the change. Adoma smiled more, walked with strength, and no longer looked haunted by exhaustion. When they asked her secret, she simply said, "Sometimes you must let go of the things you cannot carry alone." Word spread, and soon a new tradition was born. Each evening, families gathered around their fires and spoke of their worries before resting for the night. They shared their fears, their frustrations, and their joys. And as the burdens left their hearts, they found themselves lighter, more at peace. From then on, under the vast sky, the village slept soundly, knowing that no one carried their burdens alone. And for the first time in years, Adoma dreamed. Insomnia affects many people, not just because of physical illness, but because of the weight of their thoughts. Sometimes we seek medical intervention, which is necessary and important. But other times, the reason we cannot sleep is that our minds are too heavy with unspoken burdens. We live in a world that tells us to be strong, to push forward, to carry everything alone. But no one is meant to bear the weight of life in silence. Just like Adoma, sometimes all we need is a friend to talk to, a person who listens, not to solve our problems, not to give advice, but simply to be there and hold space for us. When we speak our worries aloud, they lose some of their power. They stop circling endlessly in our minds. So tonight, if you find yourself lying awake, take a moment. Breathe, speak your thoughts. If you have a friend, a loved one, or even a journal, let those worries escape. Let them rest, so you can rest too. Because sometimes, the best cure for sleeplessness isn't a potion, a remedy, or a cure. It's simply the act of letting go. Stories connect us to our past, shape our present, and guide our future. African Legends and Stories is more than just storytelling. It is a bridge between yesterday and tomorrow, between tradition and modernity. Subscribe now and be part of this journey. Like, comment, and share to keep these legends alive. This is African Legends and Stories, where the past speaks and the future listens.